everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum. Happy Found Footage Fridays. We're back talking found footage on a Friday with my co-host, Mike and Serial.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. Hope you're having a great Friday and hope it's even better now that you're listening to us.
Can you believe I almost forgot the name of the show? I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, my brain is mush this week. Anyway, everything's fine here. Very professional in case anyone was worried.
One, I will say, you've been doing this for quite a long time and it's alliteration.
Yeah.
You did that
I'm
was
like, because whenever it like gets ready to fade or at this, because I need to edit the one that's in here that I use for the intro, and whenever it gets ready to end, I'm like saying in my head, because I have definitely just blankly stared at the camera and like not said anything before, and I'm like, okay, we don't want that to happen, so I'm like saying it over, and then I got to the part in my head where I said Found Footage Friday, and I was like, what's up? I don't know. I don't know. I believe in being very much who we are and very human. That's why there's no like cuts of stuff when things go awry. It just is what it is.
what we do.
Some of it is being genuine and some of it is laziness. You can find a combination of two things. Um, but yes, we are back. Last week we talked the taking of Deborah Logan, which is that's a heavy hitter. So that one was tons of fun to talk about. We are kind of switching gears a little bit with one probably not as well known, but is on Found TV, which we mentioned last week. And that's I didn't realize this was from 2012. This is a much older one than I realized. We are talking the 2012 found footage movie Muirhouse. Um, so this was a random watch, and I was like, I want to cover this one. So here we are. In 2007, author Philip Muirhouse has left alone in a haunted homestead called Monte Cristo. He was there making a documentary that was to accompany his latest book. He also broke the rule of all ghost hunters: never go alone. The following is video documentation leading to his arrest. So, I don't know. We're all right, unspoiled thought, or, we're going to keep it normal. If we're talking about it, it's either because I hated it or I loved it. It's one way or the other. Unspoiled thoughts.
Unspoiled thoughts. Oh, I'm so sorry everybody and I'm sorry to the people who made this movie.
Uh-uh.
I I was bored. I
No
was very,
way.
very bored. Um, oh, this one was a struggle to get through.
Weird.
And
It's
I
not
will
even that long.
I will it felt very long, even
Long
though
as
it
it
wasn't.
is.
Um, it I think it did itself a disservice, and I will get to that in the spoiled
It's an hour
thoughts
15.
of how it started and where it went. I think that's what did a lot for me to just I was just kind of flatlined through the movie. And yeah, it was pretty. Very pretty house.
So don't worry, filmmakers. I do not agree. I really enjoyed this one, which is why we're talking about it. Because, a lot of us came from kind of the same path with found footage. A lot of us started with Blair Witch, which is a constant reminder of how found footage works with very small budgets, how it works when there's not a lot to see or a lot going on. And I think this is taking us back to basics. This is taking us back to typical found footage, like timelines, the way things work. It starts out, you're getting a lot of story. What is that called? Exposition. You get a lot of
Mhm.
exposition in the front. Mike knows I have a hard time with that word. You get a lot of exposition at the front, and then it takes forever sometimes to like get to something. This movie is only an hour 15 minutes. So I went into it literally on just a random, like I had probably sent you a message and given up on 3 movies by the time I got to this one. But I got to this one, and it's this is the first little bit of the movie, and it says in the description, so this is not like a spoiler, but he gets arrested. And I was like, immediately I was like, why? Like, where's this coming from? And so, anyway, so I think that this was a really fun reminder of how simple found footage can be and still be really well done. I thought that it had atmosphere. I thought it was there was a couple of things that, and we'll get to this when we get to spoilers. There's a couple of things that I think got a little redundant that I wish they would have tweaked or done something slightly different. But for the most part, a lot of the scares or the creep things really worked for me. I thought they were really good. I think that the main guy was super believable. I don't think that his phone calls and stuff were. I think some of the other people were a little on the weaker side of conveying what they needed. And I have yet to find a found footage movie that does police correctly. Like I always, you can always just tell they're not really police. And I hate that because it takes you out of those certain moments. But overall, I think the guy that plays Philip Muirhouse did a really great job. And I liked the idea of why he was there. Like I was there for all of that. So I really liked this one. Giving us, we are not on the same page. What do you rate this one?
I'm going 3.5 tapes.
No freaking way. How are we so different on? I was
And
so sure you were gonna like this one.
and I honestly, I feel like I'm being a
Being nice.
little, for myself and how I felt about this, I feel like I'm being a little generous.
I'm about to make your eyes cartoon pop out of your head. Okay. Um, damn. All right. So my rating for this for Muirhouse is I would give this a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed going back to basics. And I think it's because we watch so much of this stuff. I feel like I've seen so many that really just try so hard to go above and beyond and it doesn't land. They try to do all this extra stuff. They go outside of the typical found footage stuff. And yeah, we want something unique, but I really liked that this was more typical ghost story found footage. Like I didn't have a problem with any of that, but I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was very little, very, it's short. Like I said, it's only like an hour 15. But I love that it reminded me of the reasons that I love found footage to begin with and the way that it tells stories. And I thought that was really cool to see again after being bombarded with stuff that tried to be unique and fell flat. So I think that's another major component as to why it worked for me. 3.5. Damn. I did not think you were gonna go that low, to be real with you. I thought you were gonna like this one. Well, all right.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Okay, so you're right. They did say it in the synopsis, so I guess it's not as much of a spoiler.
Oh,
The movie starts off with the videotape of him getting arrested and basically his delirium. Uh,
yeah.
I feel like that was the pinnacle of the climax, and it went nowhere beyond that. So the rest of the movie, there was no build up because we know what the end
Oh, I see.
result
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I felt nothing as we got to where we were going because I'm like, well, I know he's going to go crazy. And obviously, that's something we know, anyways. But like, we literally saw what the outcome of this all is. So I just, from the get go, kind of just did not care where the rest of the movie went. And it did not help that I feel like not much happened.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
entire thing, I felt, and this isn't a diss to this movie, it's just equating length of time
Yeah.
because we all know if you watched our episode of The Household, an issue was that it was a very long movie.
Very long movie. Yes. This was not.
This felt longer.
You're insane. Are you sure you just weren't having a bad day? I
I,
don't know.
so I tried watching this movie
Oh
three
no.
times. It again, so one, yes, the main character, he was solid.
Yeah.
He did the best he could with this movie. Um, I just don't think there was enough for him to carry. Uh, and then the most positive and probably what I'm giving that extra half 0.5 to is that it was a beautiful location.
It was a cool house.
Beautiful house. Um, Question, because when I keep reading up on this, this says it's the real Monte Cristo.
It is.
Okay, am
That's
I
what I
just
saw too, actually, I think. When I
so
was looking.
okay? It's a beautiful house. But because this is the same Monte Cristo where there's the paintings, the the book, all this
Yeah.
stuff that it's about. Why was I expecting a mansion? Like a mansion?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely a bigger house, but
Yeah. Like it
it's
was a
more,
beautifully big house, but I was expecting
but
like,
it's not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what. Yeah, no, I can see that. I think for me, I think the police thing probably should have just been left out. I do think that's one of the reasons I didn't rate it higher is because that was what we were building up to. And it's not even so much that they showed it in the beginning. I just don't think it was necessary. I think it worked as just a spooky house. Like as far as like he's going there because he's a writer and he's trying to and I get like I'm on board with all of that. That's nothing that I think is far fetched or just out of reach of the realm of possibilities, right? But I think that the him going crazy and the police thing, I don't know, like maybe he should have just gone crazy and then when his team finally showed up, he killed them all. Like that would have been a happier ending for me. Like that would have been because the police thing is I just think if you are, and to anybody who cares to take this feedback and run with it for any future films that they're going to do, if you're going to have police, I need them to be believable. I struggled with that opening scene. I think I almost gave up. And then we met him and he got to the house and I was kind of like, okay, I was like, let me just see how it is. But where I think for me that I really liked is I like the simplistic scares. I liked the thumps. I like the lights going in and out. And I think this is probably just this is another reason why it was easier for me to like this is there's parts of this that remind me a lot of Phasmophobia, the horror game where you ghost hunt. And like when the lights go out, he's like, "Oh, I gotta find the thing to turn the lights back." I don't know. There's just parts of it that's what it reminds me of. It's like trying to go through and you're trying to find the ghost. And but I like when he got pulled into the closet. I thought that looked really good for how low budget this felt like the scenes when things happened, they didn't overdo it because I don't think that they had the budget to overdo it and they had to be mindful of where they chose to do these things. But I can tell you this, as silly as like I know people a lot of times will say things like, "Oh, like no one's going to react that way." I think the way he reacted to those things was very realistic. Like I think if I was stuck in a house by myself, I can't get in touch with anybody. I'm trying to do this thing. There's all this weird stuff happening like a lot of that felt very natural and real to me. I love the long shots in this, like the dining room shot in particular with that big table. I loved all the scenes that were in there. There's the beginning parts when he's trying to set up and things start sounding. And my main complaint with effects, or I don't know if you want to call it that, but with the spookies was the thumping was just too much over and over again. Like I wish they had done it in a different area or done like the sound of some other kind of like, hey, I'm doing shit up here sound. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like other than the
could
same
have been
thump
like
over,
plates rattling, like
glass
silverware,
breaking,
other than
him
just,
going and
boom.
finding it. Yeah, these are things you can do without effects. All you have is somebody do it real quick and then leave the room before he gets up there. That kind of stuff's really simple and would have probably elevated it just a little bit more. But overall, I dug his performance. I agree. I love the location. I love the idea that the people who were supposed to be there were like nowhere to freaking be found. And I loved the story of why he was there, what he was trying to do. And I thought that the simplistic scares were just well done and handled the way that you have to and you should be when you're doing something that's lower budget or something that you can't just go crazy with the effects because you don't have it. And I just think that that was smart on their part to do it that way.
I can see what you're saying. It just it did not land the same for me at all. Which what I will say is I do
Yeah.
understand why you're kind of surprised because in theory, especially how you're describing it,
Yeah.
it's something that I should have
It
enjoyed
it feels like a Mike
because
movie.
I
Yeah.
love the Blackwell Ghost.
Yes.
And
That was
that to
another
me was
thing. Yes.
very effective, and it's in the same vein of what this movie was doing.
Yes.
I just didn't find this movie effective. But I
Weird.
again think that for me, which sometimes some movies do this tactic and it works where you're kind of putting the big part of the movie in the front and then the
It's risky
journey
though.
gets you there. For me,
Hmm.
this was a risk that did not pay off. I think
Yeah.
if they were going to do this, then there needed again, within their limited budget, they needed to amp it up just a little bit more for me to feel still like, or at least forget
Yeah.
like what the end is from the beginning, so that I can be a little bit more like,
Yeah.
what's the word? Like, there needs to feel like there's some danger happening. And I don't
And
feel that he was ever in danger because I
yeah.
know that he's surviving.
And I think another way that they could have done with him killing the friends, just going to go back to my movie pitch here, was to do the old school 911 call. Have him crazy, call 911, say he's killed all his friends. We're like, what the hell? And then we watch a movie where the friends are not there for 75% of the time. It gives you enough time to kind of get involved in other things, maybe kind of not think so much about that. And then they show up and he kills them all. That's just an idea. I try to rewrite movies. I don't know why. Um,
Love that.
but I did. I really appreciated the simplicity of this movie. I definitely hope that pending the filmmakers watch this, they don't take that as a negative, because I don't mean it as a negative. I love that this felt like an homage to original found footage. And that's why I rated it so highly, because to me, it feels like, even with its flaws, I think it's clear to me that the filmmakers really do love the genre or the subgenre, because of how they chose to do through some of those scenes. It's very clear these are people who at least have a respect for found footage, and I would think enjoy it as well on some level. So
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I should have checked it out. I'd be curious to see if they have any other work, found footage or
mhm.
not, or if they
Yeah,
do anything else. I'm always gonna still check out what people do, just to see if maybe it was just this, maybe there's something else I would enjoy by them.
yeah,
Um, in this particular, it's very rare that you're gonna make something that's not for me, and I just write you off
yeah.
completely.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think my only exception to that right now is when we learned that that one guy uses AI to make his movies. I'm a little out on that for future
Yeah.
movies, which is so unfortunate because he had some really creative ideas. But I think outside of that, I'm the same way, especially because typically, for the most part, we can find things that we did appreciate about it, even if it wasn't something we rated really high or something we did just absolutely lose our minds over, enough that I'm like, yeah, like I will watch like anything else that they put out, I'm here for. And I feel the same way about these filmmakers. I really loved going back to the kind of nostalgia feeling of finding found footage for the first time. And I don't think that that's an easy thing to get anymore, because God, we've seen so much of it now. So many versions of Blair Witch, so many versions of the haunted house and paranormal activity, and all these things. And so to go back to something that felt kind of cozy in that sense was pretty unique for me, because I'm mostly sending you pictures like I'm not watching this shit. I can't. I
And
just get
it's
to.
so funny because the and I can think of 3, 2 out of the 3 that we're more than likely not covering are ones that I'm like, "I didn't mind that."
Oh no, I know, and I make up my mind like 5 minutes in. I'm like, no, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the one we were messaging about yesterday, but I'm going to finish it because I do like a lot about. Maybe that'll be on like our next roster, because I do think there's some stuff to discuss with that one.
I know which one you're talking about,
Yeah,
and I definitely think that it can still make a very good episode.
yeah. I haven't finished it yet, but I am over halfway done. I'm close to the end. I just had to stop. I just stopped watching it, so I just have to finish it. But yeah, it's but I liked Mirror House. I thought it was, just like I said, a really nice reminder of the things that I used to feel when I watched found footage before it got so different. I mean, now I'm into
Yeah.
like all these others, like the mockumentary stuff, or we're getting like
The
serial
Dinosaur
killer
Project.
ones, dinosaur found footage. Please, somebody make some more of those movies. Aliens and dinosaurs, please. Sharks, please, somebody. And I don't mean like no CGI ones. I mean like no like cheesy ones. I mean like for real shark found footage. Like, yes, I need those three things: aliens, sharks, and dinosaurs. Those are my three favorite things.
I like it.
Werewolves. That will add that one to the list. cryptids. I got recommendations for filmmakers looking for ideas
There you
on
go.
what their next found footage movie should be. Well, cool. So, all right. Well, we can't win them all.
No, this one reminded me of Himalaya.
I'm done. I'm not talking to you. You're in timeout. I love those filmmakers. Those I will watch anything
Perfect
those
example
people.
because I love them too. I think that they make fun stuff.
I love them. Yeah.
I will watch whatever they do, even though it's not necessarily for me. I'm still going to watch it.
Mike is still stuck on the garage. He can't get past it. He's like, listen.
And but honestly, it's become like my favorite goof in found footage.
And I'm laughing because I never noticed it. That's how invested I was in this situation. I'm like, when the hell? I'm like trying to think. I'm like, I don't remember ever seeing that. And I haven't gone back to revisit it since we've talked about it. But my favorite one that they've done so far is Stay. That's the mannequin one. That's my favorite one. And
You
then Ghost of
know what?
Hiroshima was really good too.
And to the filmmakers of that movie, because I will stay respectful all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I do feel maybe that next year when we do more live watches, maybe we watch Himalaya.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let's not make them mad. I'm trying to get them to come on. I'm like
Again, I respect them. I love them.
I really
I
do too.
caught it. I caught it.
Those two, that guy and the woman that plays the main and all of those, they are phenomenal. I really, really like them a lot, and I'm very excited to see more from them. And they are working on more, which is why they haven't been on, because I did approach them and he was down, but they were busy wrapping up projects, and it sounded
Yeah.
like it was multiple. So
They're a fantastic team. I stand by that.
I totally agree. But yeah, if you're interested in checking out Muirhouse, I guess it's sort of not really ruined. There's still plenty of things we didn't really talk about, but it is what you can watch it on Found. And just as a reminder, in case anyone forgot, because I didn't say it last time, you can get 10% off an annual subscription with no ads for Found TV using keyword voices, should that be something up your alley. And if not, you can watch things for free with ads. It's still better than Tubi. I stand by that. So. Anyway, cool. Well, that's gonna wrap up this week's episode of Found Footage Fridays. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Let us know if you have found footage recs, movies we haven't talked about. Let us know in the comments. We are always down. We come up with these lists on our own, but we do take requests, feedback, whatever. Just
Yeah, and it would be fun to get a recommendation, guys.
hit us up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so thank you guys again. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week coming up, and Mike and I will see you next Friday.